Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into Dr. Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself today.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It's going to be a wild ride. Get ready to explore how to rewire your brain
Rewire that brain.
and step into a whole new...
Please, yes.
We're talking quantum physics,
Okay.
neuroscience,
I'm with you.
even a little epigenetics.
It's heady stuff.
It is?
But Dispenza has this way of taking those complex scientific concepts
Right.
and making them relatable.
Totally.
Like they illuminate our everyday experiences, you know?
It's true. He argues that so often we're on autopilot,
Autopilot, yeah.
just letting our environment, our bodies, dictate how we think and feel.
Like we're stuck, right?
Yeah, stuck in these repeating patterns.
Products of our environment.
And he's like, what if we could flip the script?
We can. That's what's so exciting.
He starts with this mind-blowing idea from quantum physics.
Okay, hit me with it.
Observing something actually influences that thing.
Whoa, hold on.
We're not just talking tiny atoms here, but like, yeah.
The possibility that our thoughts and feelings could interact with a quantum field
Okay.
to shape reality.
Like that study with the heart patients, the ones who received prayers,
Oh, yeah.
they had better outcomes.
Wild, right?
Makes you think about the impact our intentions can have.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But how do we go from quantum stuff to breaking bad habits?
Well, Dispenza says when our thoughts shape our reality, not the other way around, we become greater than our environment.
Okay.
He uses examples like Gandhi
Right.
to show how powerful that can be.
They had this vision bigger than their circumstance.
Exactly.
But let's be real. It's easy to say, my thoughts are in the driver's seat.
It's harder to actually do it.
Right. Our bodies, they kind of have a mind of their own sometimes.
They do.
Ever feel stuck with the same emotional reactions no matter what you do?
Oh, absolutely, all the time.
Dispenza talks about how our bodies become memorized chemical patterns.
That makes sense.
So change feels like this uphill battle. It's like overcoming addiction, he says.
Oh, interesting.
Our cells crave familiar emotions.
Even if they're negative.
Even if they're bad for us, we're wired for those chemical responses.
It's like our bodies get hooked on the chemicals our thoughts produce.
Exactly. It's
More than just thinking positive, then.
way more. We've got to reprogram our bodies, too.
So how do we do that?
Well, he talks about this difference between living in survival mode,
Okay.
where we're ruled by stress and old programming,
Right.
versus tapping into a creation state.
Interesting.
And in that creative state, he argues,
Yeah.
we can transcend the limitations of our bodies, even time itself.
Whoa! Okay, hold on.
It's about going from reacting to creating.
I like that.
In survival mode, we're always on guard.
Makes sense.
Our bodies are flooded with stress hormones.
So we're always on edge.
Exactly. Our systems are stuck in overdrive.
And that's where mind over matter comes in.
Precisely.
Our thoughts having a real physical impact.
He highlights some incredible studies, where thoughts alone,
What kind of studies?
things like muscle strength, even how our genes express themselves.
You're kidding.
It challenges that whole genes or destiny idea,
Yeah.
We have more power than we think.
Wow, that's amazing. So we're talking more than just positive thinking here, right? Like, our thoughts have this energy.
It's not just thinking positive.
It's impacting the world around us.
It's deeper than that, yeah.
On a deeper level.
Dispenza takes quantum physics beyond theory,
Okay.
applies it to our lives,
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not just physical beings.
Right.
We're energy.
Okay.
We're constantly sending out this signal.
Based on our thoughts and feelings?
Thoughts, feelings, beliefs, the whole package.
So if I'm always dwelling on negativity,
Yeah.
am I attracting more of that into my life? Is that what we're saying?
It's not just attracting, it's like we're shaping our reality with it.
Wow.
Our thoughts and feelings, they're influencing the energy around us.
Okay, I can see that.
It's like, you remember in the book he talks about
Yeah.
people with a negative self-image. They
Mhm.
tend to draw negative experiences. It's like,
They're unconsciously confirming their own beliefs.
Exactly.
Makes you think, but where's free will in all this?
that's a good question.
If we're just products of this quantum field,
Right.
do we have any say in how our lives unfold?
And that's where Dispenza's work gets really empowering.
Okay, how so?
Because he's saying, once we understand these quantum principles,
Yeah.
we can consciously influence the field.
Hmm.
We can break free from those old patterns.
So it's not about being a victim.
No, that's
It's
not.
about conscious creation.
Exactly. We become creators.
Where do we even begin with that?
It starts with the mind, right?
Okay.
He outlines this 3-step process.
Okay.
And step 1, it's all about recognizing and releasing those emotions that are holding us back.
Releasing emotion. Okay.
He tells this story about a woman struggling with fear of failure.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Yeah. It stemmed from a childhood experience.
Right, and she carried it into adulthood.
Hold her back from her dreams.
How do we even identify those deeply rooted emotions, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
The ones that keep us stuck?
Self-awareness, that's key.
Okay,
Dispenza talks about the gap
the gap.
between how we present ourselves, especially with emotions,
Right,
and who we really are inside.
right, like we're hiding behind a mask.
Exactly. Pretending.
Yeah.
And that's inauthenticity. It creates conflict.
So we're not being our true selves?
Right. And it blocks our potential.
Okay, so how do we bridge that gap?
First, honestly acknowledging those feelings we hide,
Even from ourselves.
especially from ourselves. It's like shining a light
Okay.
on those dark corners of our subconscious.
Bringing those emotions to the surface.
Exactly. Then we can start to release them.
No more sweeping them under the rug.
No way.
But how do we actually release them?
That's the thing, right?
Is it just deciding, like, okay, I'm not angry anymore?
It's more than that.
It can't be that easy.
Dispenza suggests something more powerful,
What's that?
declaring them out loud.
Wait, say the things we've been hiding out loud.
It's about taking back our power.
Even if it feels uncomfortable.
We acknowledge them, but we also assert our choice.
Our choice to have a different experience.
Exactly. He talks about moving from I am angry to I am choosing to release my anger.
Subtle, but I can see how that would feel different.
Right. It shifts the whole perspective.
We're taking control of the narrative.
We are.
And then what?
Once we've declared them, he says, surrender them
Surrender them. To what?
to something greater than ourselves,
Okay.
something that can help us heal and transform.
Trusting that we don't have to carry the burden alone.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing.
So we've acknowledged the emotions, declared them, surrendered them. Now what?
Now the real work begins.
The real work. Okay.
This is where the potential for change explodes.
I'm intrigued.
Dispenza guides us through mental rehearsal.
Mental reversal, like what?
We vividly imagine ourselves
Okay.
embodying the qualities we want.
So not just thinking positive thoughts, but really feeling it.
That's it. And it's not vague, you know?
Dispenza's very specific.
Oh, yeah. He wants us to engage all our senses
To make it real.
as real as possible in our minds, so our bodies start to believe it's already happening.
We're preparing for a whole new way of being.
Exactly.
So we're rewiring our brains and bodies by mentally rehearsing.
It's powerful stuff.
But how does that create real life change?
Okay, so once we've established this new internal reality,
Yeah.
we have to start living as if it's already true,
Even if the outside world hasn't caught up yet,
especially then. He calls it acting as if.
we're stepping out in faith.
We are, trusting that the universe will meet us halfway.
Are there any, like, real-world examples of this?
Oh, tons. The book is full of stories.
Of people using this to make big changes?
Incredible changes. Healing illnesses, finding love, financial abundance, you name it.
So this is tangible stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just feeling better about ourselves.
It's about understanding we're not separate from that quantum field.
Right.
We're interacting with it constantly,
Okay.
influencing it with our thoughts, feelings, actions, everything.
And when we align ourselves with a new reality,
The field responds.
so it's not magic.
No,
It's quantum physics.
it's science.
It sounds kind of like magic, though.
I know, right?
And that brings us back to closing the gap.
Yes.
Can you talk more about what that looks like day to day?
It's about aligning our actions with our inner truth.
Authenticity?
Exactly. When there's a gap between who we are being and how we show up,
Yeah.
it takes so much energy to keep up that facade.
Like wearing a mask all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that energy could be used for creating something real.
It's like we're so busy trying to convince everyone we're not good enough
Yes.
that we have no energy left for our dreams.
Closing the gap frees up that energy.
And we become conscious creators.
Not passive bystanders. We're active participants in our lives.
Yeah. And it's not just about achieving goals.
Right.
Dispenza says it leads to a deeper sense of peace,
Peace, joy, connection.
connection to something bigger than ourselves,
It's about tapping into our true potential.
becoming the best versions of ourselves.
And in that process, we experience abundance, fulfillment.
Things we might never have thought possible.
Exactly. But it's not easy. And that's where those practical tools come in.
The tools Dispenza provides.
Yes. They can be so helpful.
Makes you think about all the limitations we put on ourselves, right?
They really do.
Like, I'm not good enough, or I could never do that.
It's like we build our own cages, you know?
And those limitations, they become self-fulfilling prophecies, right?
Exactly. If you believe you're not capable, you won't even try.
So breaking free from those limiting beliefs, that's a big part of this whole breaking the habit of being ourselves thing.
Huge. It's about recognizing the power we have inside.
Which we often underestimate.
Big time.
Okay, but how do we break free from those beliefs?
Awareness is the first step. Pay attention to your thoughts, those stories you tell yourself.
Become more mindful of the mental chatter.
Exactly. He uses this analogy of a record player.
Oh, I like that.
Those beliefs, they're like grooves in a record.
Playing the same tune on repeat.
Over and over again.
So once we're aware of them,
You can challenge them. Question if they're even true.
not just blindly accepting them.
Right. Is this really true? What evidence do I have?
We're changing the record, choosing a new tune.
Exactly. And as you do that, it creates space for new beliefs to emerge, more empowering ones.
We're clearing out the mental clutter.
Yes, making room for a fresh perspective.
And then you start to see new possibilities.
You feel more capable.
Bolder. Like you can actually go after those dreams.
That's where inhabiting self comes in.
And you've mentioned that a few times. What does that actually mean?
It's about recognizing that we often live from a place of lack,
Lack.
fear, insecurity, always trying to fill some void
We're looking for something outside ourselves.
to make us whole. Yeah.
Chasing happiness in all the wrong places.
And that keeps us stuck. Inhabiting self is about turning inward.
Connecting with our own power, our own wisdom.
You got it. Dispenza talks about creating a sacred space within.
Through meditation.
Meditation, mindfulness, self-reflection.
To quiet the mind, listen to our intuition.
Exactly. And as you do that, you start to feel whole, complete.
Not depending on anything external.
It's a deep sense of self-acceptance, self-love.
Like coming home to yourself.
And from that place, you can truly express your potential.
Create a life that's aligned with our values, our aspirations.
Not just changing our thoughts, but becoming the best version of ourselves.
That's powerful stuff. This whole deep dive has been amazing.
It really makes you appreciate the potential we all have.
We're not limited by our past or our circumstances.
We can create a new reality.
For ourselves and for the world. It starts with that choice to break free, to step into the unknown.
To stop being limited by the habit of being ourselves.
So for anyone listening, remember, you are capable of incredible transformation. You have the power to create a life you truly love.
A life that's aligned with your deepest desires, your highest potential.
Don't be afraid to break free from those old stories.
Step into who you truly are.
What are you waiting for? Start creating.